What is the crack? Welcome back to the Cian Malone Show, episode 5. I hope you're all well. Let's get into it, shall we? What today is going to be is a Q&A because nobody gave me any topics, but I did get a lot of good questions, so let's get into it. So the first question is by Ian. He said, are birds real? And that is a mad question, Ian. To be honest with you, I don't know. Sometimes you'd be just looking and the pigeons, they're knocking about. You're like, is there a little camera in there? No, you're not. You're crazy. Just get in the loony bin. Gone. Go away with you. To be honest with you, Ian, I don't even know how to answer that question. I'm really just spouting out me. He also asked, how did Batman get so strong? Now, I think most young fellas see themselves as Batman, so it's usually trauma, loss of your parents when you go see a show, or all sorts of things. So, how did Batman get so strong? By learning. And then Ev asked, how are you so cool and down to earth at the same time? I don't know. The universe just curated whatever I am, and I'm only starting to realise it. I'm getting a lot more belief in myself. I've realised a lot over the last few days, especially, the last 72 hours especially. I absolutely scrubbed my dad's gaff back to front, renovated it. While doing that, kind of just get the body back moving, you know, because I've been slacking on the gym. I haven't felt better. I've never felt so good in my life right now, to be honest with you. So, I think I'm cool, because usually my whole mantra is, well, at least the last few months has been, I'm going to do me, and I think I'm cool, so. And down to earth, I had a bit of an ego death at some point, and it's just like, life's a game, isn't it? There's no point stressing yourself out. Just have as much fun, learn as much as you can, love as much as you can, and just have fun with your people, you know what I mean? So I hope that answers the question of how I'm so cool and down to earth at the same time without, you know, being like a egotistical maniac or whatever. But the next question is from Big C, the OG, and he asked, if you could ask one question to someone from 100 years in the future, what would it be? That's a good question. One question I would ask. Now, there's loads of corny stuff I could come up with and all that kind of stuff. But I'd say the biggest question is like, did I make a mark on the world? Now, I will know that by the time I finish, hopefully. But I'd say that's a good question to ask. And then Alex said, if you had to choose between passing a wildly unpopular between passing a wildly unpopular but economically necessary policy or wildly popular policy that would harm the economy long term, which would you choose? That's a good question. I'm going to have to think about that for a second. I didn't really have to think about the question too much. I just kind of had to like read it out, put it in my head and go, right, what actually is the question? But if I had to choose between passing a wildly unpopular but economically necessary policy or wildly popular policy that would harm the economy long term, which would I choose? I would always go with unpopular but economically necessary policy, because usually any good change that's ever happened in this world came with people questioning and putting it down, but in the long term they always work out. So I hope that answers the question. And then another Cian, shout out to all the Cians out there. Yeah, there's a few Cians I see smashing it on TikTok, making stuff. Cians number one. If any other Cians are watching this, and I'm a bit of a nerd, so I've deep dived into this. What our names actually mean is the ancient one or the enduring one. So I hope you all have a lot of knowledge. I hope you are all enduring whatever you're going through. So shout out to all the Cians out there. Yeah, number one. And he says, why do you do what you do? Now, for a long time, I was stressing myself out with my purpose. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know the direction to go in. I always felt like I was a creative person, and I always was like, I felt like I had to become a great businessman to even realise my dreams. And the biggest motivation I had was like to do it for my family. But over the last few months, it's like I care for my family a lot, but I'm like, to get where I want to be, to where I actually can do everything I need for my family, I need to do this for myself. So I do it for myself. I'm doing it to become the best version of myself, realise who I am, what I want to do and what I want to be, and that's basically why I do what I do. And then Carew asked, so I just abruptly ended that, I should have, but that's basically why I do what I do. And if anybody who's out there wondering what they want to do, just look within. What did you want to do before you had any pressures put on you when you were a kid, when you were 12? Younger even, just whatever. Before, some people have pressure put on them a lot later, some people have pressure put on them a lot younger, but whatever your biggest love is, whatever makes you the happiest, follow that. Chase your dreams. Just do what you want to do, because you're told what you need to do all your life growing up, but in reality, the only person that's going to know what you really want to do is you. So I would I'd deep that on. And any of you watching that are just struggling with purpose, I just deep what I just said there, because that kind of way of thinking has helped me a lot over the last few months. So I'm going to move on to the next question now. So the next question is from Lauren. She goes, what's your earliest childhood memory? So I have a weird memory like this. I'll forget something from a few minutes ago, or I have mad memories back to when I was literally a little toddler. But the one probably the earliest one I can remember was I was either still not one yet, or it was between 1 and 2. Like it was kind of I can't remember the exact age it was, but I was a toddler like, and so I'm not going to move the camera around here now, because I'm just going to keep it there. We're going straight in, but there's double doors here where I'm sitting now recording this with my dad's, and I had like a little bungee kind of play thing, so it was like strings to go from each doorway to the other, and I'm sitting in it, and I was able to, like before I could walk and everything, and I could bounce and jump and bounce and jump and do whatever I wanted, you know what I mean? And I was just laughing my arse off. My dad was watching me. It was deadly. That'd be my earliest memory that I can think of. I have a few other ones, but that would be the earliest one right now in my head that I can pinpoint. I'm sure I could conjure up some memory earlier than that. I don't know. That's the power of the mind. You actually don't know. You know, you can go deep into your mind and realise stuff that you never thought you could. So try it sometime. And then the next question is from Carew, and he says, why do the when for the when? You're just trying to confuse me, fool. I don't even know what that question was, but why do the when, to the when, to the who, to the when, to the where, to the way, to the why? I hope that answered your question. And then Sean asked, do you find that you struggled with starting vlogging when growing up / living around our area? And if so, how did you overcome that? Definitely. So this will be the last question as well, folks. I hope you've enjoyed. But over in my area, I come from Tallaght, specifically Jobstown in Tallaght. And I've always said growing up, there's just a bit of a cloud over the area, you know, there's a bit of a put down culture. Anybody who wants to do anything different, people just put it down, and I don't think that's down, like, I don't blame anyone for that specifically, and a lot of people are just caught up in the mess that is, because I don't want to use the term of like wolves and sheep, but like a lot of the herd would, you know, follow each other, and it's just how life is, because you want to fit in, you want to be happy, and you haven't opened your mind up to all this different things. But the biggest thing I realised, let me just read that question again so I can go exactly where I'm going with this. So the biggest struggle, would have been within. So I always wanted to create, but I didn't have the balls to create. I didn't know myself enough as a person to be putting stuff out there. And then when I finally took that jump of taking the camera out and recording, that's when the struggle ended. I started realising who I am, you know. So I would have loved to have started earlier, but all the years and all the shit I went through that made me into the person I am today has made me ready to do it. So I'd say the biggest struggle would have been just listening to others. You have to listen to yourself. As a kid growing up and as a teen growing up, you're a sponge. You're taking in all this sorts of information. You're listening to everyone you can, and you're taking in all that. But sometimes you take people too literally, and sometimes you pick up bad habits from other people, bad misconceptions, preconceptions, all different sorts of information you're taking from people that might not know what they're saying, but you think they are because you trusted these people, and they're not saying it they're not trying to destroy you, or they're not trying to put you down, or they're not trying to drag you back around from telling you the wrong thing. In their head, they believe it's right, and they're passing on that information as they should, but they just, it's you know what I mean? So it's like even like the stuff you take from your parents growing up, you listen to them, they tell you what to do, and there's a certain point when you start thinking of yourself, because you realise all this stuff, you go, alright, be honest with yourself. What can I improve with myself? what do I not like about myself? What do I not like about the world? What can I change in that? And what can, in my environment, in my world, what can I do to make sure I'm living the life I want to live? So realising that is the main thing, I think. And it's just kind of, any other people watching this don't want to get on the camera and they want to make something, or they want to create anything, or they just want to do something. I'm not just talking about creative stuff, just want to do something, but you're worried about others' opinions. The only opinion that matters is yours. So this is what I'm going to end the vlog with. Just do you, chase your dreams, and just realise who you are. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This has been the Cian Malone Show, episode 5. I will see you for the next one. Leave a few comments below if you have any more questions for me. I will be whacking up on the story anyway. But I'm starting to get a bit more engagement, which I love, because I'm only starting to find my voice. So for so long, I was such a big thinker, and I just never really was meeting the right people to have the conversations with, or just loads of shit, man. Just loads of shit, man. But over the last few days, over the last few weeks, over the last few months, I've really started to just build and build and build. And I want you to do that too. So become the best version of yourself, yeah? Chase your dreams. I'll see you tomorrow, because I'll keep rambling on. Good night, and God bless.